Joining me now is Altana's co-founder and CEO, Evan Smith. Evan, good to see you again. Well, we got the producer price index reading coming out in just a few hours, which I guess is a big piece of this. What is it about the tariff impact as we continue to see it starting to show up in numbers that people might be missing?
Well, the way we can conceptualize of tariffs historically is that you only are paying the tariff when the product comes into the country, right? It's applied at the border. So you think about it as a last mile tax or duty that gets applied to the cost of the goods. And what's so novel about this new trade policy environment and the shape of these tariffs is that they're actually designing and implementing the tariffs to apply based on the goods inside of the goods, or even the raw materials that are baked into the value chain of the goods. And so unless you know that whole extended supply chain or value chain of production, from raw materials to the intermediate components to the finished components, you don't know what tariffs you need to pay. And then, of course, there's huge earnings shocks and inflation shocks emerging as a result of this, as the sort of accumulating cost of all these tariff impacts as they're applied across that global value chain of production start to emerge.
In other words, you're used to thinking about taxing, tariffing the muffin, but actually at this point it's the flour and the sugar and the baking soda, and that can add up over time. Does it also mean that you think companies are making a different decision about how to adjust the prices that they eventually charge based on when and how they understand what their costs are?
We're already seeing that. Our customers are both buyers and suppliers, and they interact up and down the chain. And we're seeing that, the cost pressure from suppliers is going up, and they're appealing for price increases. And some of our customers, are actually using us to negotiate and understand what the price ought to be as a function of the tariff increases. So it's working its way through the chain. It's working its way through the end customer. And of course, it's working its way to earnings.
That is a brilliant way through data to look at this and give your unique perspective. Evan Smith of Altana, thank you.
Thank you.